Lesson 1.2 is finding limits graphically, and you might be thinking, hey, we just did this. This is actually called the general limits. So we did one-sided, which was specifically just coming from the left or the right. Now we want to find just the overall limit, which is actually going to look at the left and the right. So the definition of a general limit, when it exists, is that the limit, when you're coming to a x value from the left, has to be the same value, same y value, as when you're going from the right. Okay? And this will actually help us with our definition later of continuity. So I've got just one graph here. We're going to use it multiple times for problems 1, 2, and 3. It says evaluate both sides of the limit, the general limit, and the function value at the given x value. Our given x value is -2 every time. So I'm going to write the limit as x approaches -2, and I'm going to put a little negative from the left is what that says, of f of x equals what? I like to go ahead and write out all my stuff. Then I'm going to do the limit as x approaches -2 with a little plus. That'll be from the right equals what? And then I'll have the limit as x approaches -2. I'm not going to do from the right or left because that's going to be my general limit of f of x equals what? I'll stop there and we'll just start looking at it. So let's find where x is -2, right here. So think about kind of a vertical line imaginarily drawn. This is coming from the left, this is coming from the right. So at -2, if I come from the left, my y value is approaching -6. Well, if I come from the right, I'm also approaching -6. See how these values equal each other? That is the definition of a general limit. So does this general limit exist? Are both sides the same value? Yes. And then I would also want to know the function value. So what is f of -2? What is the y value at x is -2? It's also -6. And this right here is called continuity. This is one smooth continuous line or curve. There's no breaks or holes or anything. All right, let's try number 2. I'm going to go ahead and write everything out. So I've got the limit as x approaches -6 from the left of f of x. Limit as x approaches -6 from the right of f of x. I'm going to go over here this time. Limit as x approaches -6, just in general, f of x equals what? And then I'll also have to find f of -6 equals what? Okay, so -6 is here. I already see that there's a break, so I should know ahead of time that my limits from the left and right are going to be different values. From the left, following here until I get to a y value of -4. From the right, I'm following until I get to a y value of 0. Since these don't match, the general limit does not exist. DNE is what you'll see. Does not exist because they're not coming to the same number. I don't get to pick and choose which number I use for it. And then f of -6, do I have a closed point at x is -6? Yes, that would be a y value of 0. All right, one more. So we'll go from the left, go from the right, and then the general. And then we'll find the function value at x is 5. All right, 5 is right here. See, there's a hole. So as I come from the left, I'm approaching a y value of 3. As I come from the right, I'm approaching that same y value of 3. So it so happens that the general limit will be 3 because it approaches the same number from left and right. F of 5, however, since there's only an open point here, this would be undefined. And the last thing we need to talk about is what if there's an asymptote? An asymptote can be a horizontal or vertical line where graph gets really close to but never touches. All right, so at axis 3, we're going to do the same thing here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. At x is 3, you can see that this end goes up really steep, and this end down here goes down really steep. So that's actually a vertical asymptote at x equals 3. So what I would say is that limit as x approaches 3 from the left, 3 from the left would be following this side. See, I'm going down and down and down and down and down. That would be negative infinity. But because that's not an actual numerical value, we're going to say does not exist. Okay, the limit as x goes to, or 3 from the right, now we're following this side. It goes up to positive infinity, and that's also not an actual number, so we'll say does not exist. So therefore, the general limit as x goes to 3 does not exist. Because one's going down, one's going up. And then f of 3 is undefined, because there will be no point that exists when x is 3.